This is Lorenzo from Crypto Arena with the post-IDO community call rather than AMA. It did not go very great with the launch. We had a bit of a dump, as you surely all know, and we had a bit of a delay with the listing on Spiritswap. Of that, I obviously take full responsibility. It's my fault. I had the tCATS sent to FTM last night, assumed F wouldn't be a problem. It was, and it took forever for bringing over. We ended up bringing Phantom directly, getting that through 1inch, making a big purchase that luckily didn't require us 12% slippage as Uniswap wanted. But eventually we put it up. It's currently up, and we've put up a total of 60 ETH in liquidity, and we're going to be adding more over time as well. The things we have been doing are the farms in particular. There's lots of updates on that. Those are basically ready. We've been going back and forth with the auditors and fixing up the two items, one medium, one low risk that they had found through their audit. So we should be able to release those very, very quickly. And if you're familiar with our staking solution, that is the LP token part and the farm part and the synthetic part, that will then be used both for the governance and for the nodes of NFT Arena. Additionally, in fact, the contracts for the secondary staking and for NFT Arena itself are basically ready as well, although they need the full length of the audit to happen. So we're actually going quite expediting things on the development side. Funnily enough, even though we're struggling a bit with the marketing, the handling of the community, and in general the rest. There's few of us and a few hours in a day. It's kind of difficult to get to everything. We now have the capital from the IDO, which allows us to also bring on a couple more people to help with giving a hand. We are listed in spite of it being a bit of a dump, a bit of a big dump. It's something that as a company puts us more on the map. It allows us to be more interconnected and to keep building basically. As products come out, there should be upticks in demand. The cats start having utility. They start giving you a yield. Consequently, there should be plenty for us to be able to do. Leonie, Blake, can either of you take questions that may be coming in on AMA question channel?
Sure.
Because I don't see them.
Yep. DYCP has one. It's a little bit long, but I'll read it. CATS team, will you guys be more politically active? Recent legislation was pushed in America that could affect how security tokens play out. Obviously, it's all based with FUD. My point being, engagement within active and trending communities is high priority, in my opinion. We need to be relevant and stay relevant. You have a good product, build awareness and more education. If influencers get on board, they need to be excited at the thought of becoming champions and how this tailors to their community.
I absolutely agree, really. We struggle a bit with the social media part ever since we lost NFT Ignition. We sorely miss her because we don't really have. I never had a social media account before Crypto Arena at all. I'm pretty sure the same goes for Leonie, and I don't know how much experience with social media Blake has either. So it's definitely a hole that we need to fill up. We've been looking around. We have some candidates and some people that were interested in us, and hopefully will still be interested in us. There was a big influencer in particular that we had our eyes on. much bigger than before. In fact, before numbers, because indeed we need to start tapping into trending communities. We have good stuff, and recently listed and to come stuff. So it's still a good opportunity for everyone that wants to get in. In fact, it's a much better opportunity now. I see you unmuting, Blake.
I didn't mute after I talked last. There's no more questions on the AMA question channel.
I see. What else?
Oh, I guess there was one. Sorry, it was from before that I missed. It was just 1 ETH equals 95k cats. So it's a question about the current price.
The current price, you can find it on Uniswap. It's at 84, no, not 95, 82. In fact, there are some buys coming in here and there, both on Uniswap and on Spiritswap. It's just a matter of time, really. The tokens being invested means that people that don't have long-term perspective will dump them. It's a good thing in reality, really. We get to get back all the tokens at a much lower rate. They're the ones selling at a loss, really. There's a lot of people angry that got into the IDO 2 days ago. It's not really normal to make an investment decision with a 2 days time frame, quite honestly. So it's obviously impossible for everyone to buy in 2 days before and sell at a profit. Everyone. It's just not how it works.
Sure. On top of that, I will say, after having watched a lot of launches, that this is one of the most common chart patterns for what happens at launch. The alternative is that there's a spike before the dump. So I agree that there's definitely some things that we can be disappointed about or wish that went better, but it's definitely not some huge only downside type of thing. Like you said, the weak hands have mostly exited. There will probably be some more that happen as more people buy in, but that will continue to just solidify our base, and we can keep growing. We're still going to work on the products. We're still going to release the products. So long term, which is what we're building for, we've still got a lot of great stuff coming.
Yeah, I mean, not even long term. You can consider a couple.
Yeah, short term too.
Staking, you can't consider that long term, honestly.
No, yeah. Even short term, for people who have held, we've got staking coming. Providing liquidity themselves is going to be another way people can, earn rewards. And we've also got our new Diamond Paws loyalty holders program, which is going to reward with NFT Arena cards, redeemable tickets for security tokens in the future when that releases down the line, and potentially more rewards, particularly for those who held through today. That's still to be discussed, but that's the direction we're thinking. Last I heard, right, Lorenzo?
Absolutely. I mean, not double the stake kind of things as
right.
suggested, of course. But we were happy to reward our people with more tokens. Not immediately, because obviously that would add sell-in pressure, but rather give them a claim for a future retrieval of added tokens just for having stayed with us.
Absolutely.
It's no problem.
I do have a new question came in from DYCP. Any plans going into this weekend? How can we build momentum while the staking and the rest of tCATS is built behind the scenes?
For this have Hypergrowth, a company that we have engaged with that is helping us reach out to influencers. So basically, what you were saying before, there's a lot of influencers around. It's a lot of work reaching out to them and getting them interested. So we now have someone that specializes in doing it, basically doing it for us. Additionally, we have a few YouTubers, I believe, and a few other influencers that we were engaging with. But that's really sponsored content. So making them fall in love, it's a matter of continuing the relation and continuing to talk and everything. So we have several press releases, a couple announcements, a partnership announcement with Spiritswap, and what else? I feel I'm forgetting one thing.
We've got Whimsy Games announcement coming very soon. Like the official announcement.
Wait, you didn't do that yet?
I don't. Maybe I did. I'm so tired. I may very well be forgetting.
Well, if that's not done, it's top priority, please. We already had the first week of work done.
Absolutely.
Your microphone is dead, Leonie. So yeah, we have also the Whimsy announcement, and that should be a month before we can give you something that you can actually play. But we can definitely show the clickable prototype that is coming in a week as well. For the flow.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
These kind of things. What else? What else do we have? Do we have any questions? I still don't know if they're coming in through the question channel.
Straight Games says when Snapshot and how much extra will the airdrop be?
The snapshot will be after the Discord call ends, so right after, not a precise hour, just right after. You'll see it on the Telegram. And the amount will communicate it. The way it'll work is basically there's a snapshot now, there's a snapshot in the future, and if there's at least the same amount of tCATS, then you can claim the extra reward. It's gonna be sizable, not enormous, but worthy of it, especially when it unlocks.
Cool. Currently, no further questions.
Okay. Do you have any questions from the chats from before that you remember that we may address in the video to keep going? Because it's understandable that many people were disappointed and have not joined the call, but
yeah,
let me try and answer all of their concerns anyway.
Sure. Let me scroll up on
I
there.
saw, for example, Old Mate that I would like to mention that it was unfortunate, but don't get mad, mate. It's going to be all right. Just hang on, and you'll see your returns.
So the main question that was being asked in Telegram was why list at a third of pre-sale price on Phantom after the delay?
Well, because the delay kind of forced it. Listing at the original price would have meant giving free money to arbitrage bots, essentially. I understand people feel like they've missed out on the chance to sell, but in truth, putting it up afterwards, regardless, wouldn't give you the chance to sell. The bot would just take it before you, because it's such a profitable trade.
I agree. And that is the question that everything else stemmed from. Old Mate and XYZ in particular were feeling that it was quite unfair to them.
Well, I literally wouldn't be able to provide them the same opportunity once it's up.
I understand.
It was supposed to go at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
For that, absolutely my apologies. To repeat quickly, what happened is we had the tCATS bridged over, but not the asset to back them with. I wanted to move ETH to buy FTM on FTM chain to save on costs, and I've had some troubles moving the ETH. I tried 3 bridges. Eventually, I ended up buying the FTM through 1inch on the Ethereum network and bridging that. But by that time, of course, the price had already dumped, and then the only choice I had was to put it up at current market price. Still, we put up the whole of the liquidity allocation, and on that we didn't skimp anything. It's going to be locked in the farms, so it's not going anywhere. Those things are still guaranteed.
From what I can see, that addresses the only questions that I see. Everything seems to be hinged around that specific information.
Take another look, please, on Telegram before we wrap it up. It's only been 20 minutes.
Sure.
I'm sure there's more to address somewhere.
The only other thing I saw that was addressed was someone, again, questioning why we didn't have the IDO with the other IDO as well. Can't remember the name of them.
Delmaker.
Yes.
Well, it simply fell through the cracks. We had agreements. We've been in contact with them since June, I believe it was. Out of the top of my head, but I can go find it. And basically they kept us waiting for forever, and then eventually it was too late. We had to go. Couldn't wait for forever.
Yep, indeed. There's definitely no new questions that have come in on Twitter. I'm continuing up further to see if there were any others earlier on. I said Twitter, didn't I? I meant Telegram.
Perhaps I have a question for you, Danny. Where do we find a hype man?
There have been some questions about the staking and when that will be available.
It should be. It's on an as soon as possible basis. So we had the audit yesterday coming in, the results, and they found a medium and a low risk detections. So we've submitted the commit with the fixes in the morning, and have been talking through email with them throughout the day. We're working on fixing them. As soon as those are fixed, then they corroborate that they're fixed, and we can publish the audit. Then the firms are basically ready. It's about a matter of hooking up to the front end, which is both being built in one case, and in another we're borrowing it. So it's only really a matter of days. And for this we expect somewhere in the next week, hopefully not at the end of next week. I would like as soon as possible, so early next week is better than late next week. And as I mentioned on Telegram, say make it Wednesday, which is in the middle.
Cool. Straight Gains asks, will Tostas be the staking platform?
For one of the two, yes, we're doing two, basically, deployments of the same contract with a different LP token. One of the LP tokens is the one that you get through Uniswap, which of course is the F and tCATS pair, and the other one is the one that you get through Spiritswap. So with the FTM and the tCATS pair, you get your LP token, you put LP token in the farm, that gets you a yield. The farm spits out the synthetic, and the synthetic you can use either for governance or for acquiring node rights to NFT Arena.
Cool. DYCP answered to your question to him. He said, Shillers, I feel like that is a huge money thing. I would spend money on education and education videos. How to play, how to become a champion, how to build a community, why it works, how you can make passive income, etc., etc. Otherwise, people just buying and selling.
Totally agree. What we really need, however, is the hustling personality type that also has a background in crypto for the complexities of our project.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely a challenge.
Straight Gain says we need Chico Crypto. And DYCP says BitBoy.
Yeah, someone like them basically. We need a proper name. It's a matter of interesting them because there's so many projects. Lots of people throwing money at them, you know. But
Straight Gain says not BitBoy, FFS.
He's a very polarizing person, I hear. There was also Sheldon Evans that was interesting. We should try to reach out to. But yeah.
I will say that I know, I don't remember whether it's been released or not, but I know Leone has been working on a NFT Arena video, and I think I've seen the first half of it, and it's definitely going to be a cool video on how it works when it comes out.
Yep, and the clickable one instead is also going to be available shortly, before the release of the playable version. The first playable
Yeah, very
version,
cool.
which comes before the full version, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Raf, welcome. If you have any questions for us, you can feel free to type them in the AMA question channel. We have been addressing the impact of the listing, and also of my delay in listing on Spiritswap. So anything else from Luni? You were saying something before when your microphone was being muted.
Still is.
It still is. Why don't you join on this, perhaps? Well, then you belong among the audience. You've been demoted. Chris, do you want to come up and chat a bit?
Not sure how good I'm going to sound. I'm currently driving, but can you hear me?
Yes. Sounds
Okay.
pretty good.
Closing all my windows. Hi, everybody. I know this is a kind of a strange time for everyone because, we're all optimistic about everything and things have been going so well 100% of the time until this moment. We had just a very brief little setback with the price, but I'd like to remind everybody that new tokens are volatile. This is temporary. And as we bring utility, you're going to want to be in early. However, I don't just want to be like a hype train like everybody else. I want to explain how this works. I missed maybe the first few minutes of the call because I was getting into my car. But snapshots are going to happen at random times. We'll know, but we'll give you, some ideas of heads up kind of in advance for this one. I guess we're about to do one.
The first one is right after this call.
Excellent. Yeah, that's what I was hearing. So we want to reward people. You're going to be rewarded for being an early adopter, whether or not the price is exactly what you want it to be. As a quick reminder of something we say the most often, this is not a short-term pump and dump project. This is something we're doing that goes the distance. This is a 10-year vision. And
if you count the building here as well.
Longer for you. You can make it a 15-year vision if you really want to play it that way. But my point here is that we believe in this. To my knowledge, no one on the team dumped anything, of course. And you can check that on the blockchain as well. So if you go to like round 1, round 2 free sales, for example, look up tCATS.eth, you'll see I have every token I bought with my own money. I believe in this, and I hope everybody does as well. That being said, a dip is just an opportunity to buy more. And this will be a really good time for people to get in on those node rights, because you're going to need 50,000 cats for that, which is about just over half the ETH now, if you were to buy it exactly with current prices. And yeah, as we get closer to that time, we should see a recovery very quickly. We have utility just lined up over the next month. So cats are going to have uses, and if you're staking them, we will track staked cats. So you're not missing out on that either.
Indeed, you gotta consider that it's not just the dip opportunity, it's the dip opportunity plus all the revenue streams that you add up through this unique staking solution. So it's both the LP rewards and the governance token of the protocol, and you get the yield, and you get governance token, and you get 4 revenue streams from the NFT game. Those revenue streams are basically the both types of on-chain interactions with generating a card for the game when you put in an NFT, or of course when you take one out. The sales from the in-app marketplace of NFT cards, and the last one is tournaments, which is basically a sequence of 1 versus 1 matches, out of which only one winner arises, and basically you do a buy-in, and it creates a reward structure that is shared by the top performers. So kind of like poker tournaments. So plenty to come, absolutely.
Exactly. As you go through platforms and view, for example, price statistics and things like that, please show your support, upvote our token where you can. We'll focus on making sure that those platforms are available for you to do so, and we'll direct you to them as time goes on. So CoinGecko is like, a next stop, things like that. Like all the things that we're doing are on track. Nothing is basically any different than the plan at all. Very large list of things to do, and these things take us time, so be patient with us. And for those people who get a little frustrated, I just want to remind everybody that we have rules about behavior on our Discord and our Telegram, which is that we require respect. Don't use foul language. Express your frustration. That's okay. We support questions. We want to answer them respectfully, and we appreciate those of you who encourage others to be respectful in our environments as well. We thank you for that. Just don't get involved in arguments. That's what moderators and staff are for. But yeah, we're now a publicly traded token. Things change now.
Foul language is totally all right, provided that you send it to me in a DM.
Yeah, technically we only warn for that. But what I'm really getting at is that we care about respect, and I'll make sure that the rules clearly reflect that. Be respectful. If you want to, state an opinion, that's one thing. But if the facts contradict your opinion, then, don't be a dick. So there's my foul language for the day.
All right. Welcome, Siki567. welcome. If you have any questions for us, feel free to put them in the AMA question channel about the listing, our plans, the past, the future, the present, or perhaps the beyond. To recap a little bit, we had our listing. Current price has changed or not. Let's see. It has changed a little bit. It's 85,000 cats per 1 ETH, which is almost 2 nodes. 2 node rats.
Come back up a bit.
Yeah, it was 82, a little bit. So, Blake, is there any question popping up? I still don't see it because we should get a better system than this, Chris. Because like this, I can't see the questions coming in. I have to rely on you guys reading.
I'm thinking probably the way to go on this is that we have a dedicated channel for questions and we bridge, or we bridge on certain conditions, like if they use a specific, prefix or something like that in Telegram. I hadn't considered that. That makes a lot of sense. If we can do better, we will.
Yes, please. Let's change it. In fact, I can't even see if a question's been answered. The moment there's one up, the channel is just lit up.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to aggregate questions in a single Discord server channel, and then the only other what I would really like to see us do somehow would be to be some sort of multicast for AMAs. I don't know how well that would work on the Discord environment specifically, but there's probably some way that we can take a multiplexing kind of thing for the AMA and just have people join in on something like StreamYard and then just broadcast all the social platforms and just do it that way.
Yeah, we might also want to take a look into Periscope. I saw Bitcoin Live was using it, for example. Might be useful.
Yeah. And of course, if anyone in the environment that's listening has suggestions, we would love to hear them as well. StreamYard is my easy, free solution that has worked before situation. We all log into StreamYard and we have our conversations there and just aggregate the questions in one channel on Discord.
All right, that's. We should put up a little poll basically with a couple different platforms that we can use for more stream shows kind of thing. Also, I noticed in fact that ever since we switched to this format in which there's no video, we got a lot less engagement. For example, it was much better when we had our faces.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if Periscope worked for everyone's faces, but something like StreamYard might. You can use that through OBS.
All right. Well, let's work that out as soon as possible.
Cool. To answer your question, and so there has not been any new questions. There's some other chat going on, but it's not question asking.
All right. Well, other than that, let's spread the word. Let's get other people involved. Let's release the damn farms already, and let's keep building.
Straight Gains would like to. Well, he's now asked a question about how to play NFT Arena.
How to play NFT Arena? You only need 5 cards, and you can either buy them or make your own with any NFT. By which I mean any ERC 721 or 1155. You simply put the NFT into the treasury of NFT Arena. It's a smart contract, and that sends the hash and the metadata, so the image, your NFT, plus its unique identifier, to the app. The app generates the card. The card contains the unique identifier, and it basically functions as a key. Or as a bearer's bond, if you will. If you know what a bearer's bond is, you just have the piece of paper. Whoever has the piece of paper is entitled to the amount of money that the piece of paper says. In this case, whoever has the card is entitled to spend that card to claim the NFT to his wallet through Web3 interaction. And how to play in a practical sense instead, it's there's going to be a video coming soon, hopefully. Larry, how soon, Tony? Give me an answer.
I'm hoping to finish it this
Give me an answer and give yourself a deadline.
Monday.
Monday. Okay, by Monday we have a video explaining the bit of the gameplay and of the rules of it. And basically it's a simple trading card game in which the higher number will capture the square of the opponent, and your objective is to have the majority of the slots that are available on the board. There's of course twists and turns to it. There's a lot of special rules. There's the ability to combine and mix and match the rules to make the game behave differently in many different ways. So it's actually fun. It's pretty addictive, tried and true, and I'm being gestured to as if I'm supposed to understand that.
I posted a screenshot of the board.
She posted a screenshot of the board, if you didn't hear. Yeah, so basically it's a trading cards game, and the core concept of it is not just that it's fun, but that you can win NFTs from your opponents. So it's super competitive. It's a trading cards game of the old school type, as in die-hard Yu-Gi-Oh! or old-timey Pokemon and these kind of things. You can win and lose NFTs by playing it, and you can also win and lose tokens by playing it. But also you can play in basically any way you want. It's very customizable. It goes from casual to matchmaking, rating, ranked play, to custom lobbies and tournaments. Tournaments particularly are also quite interesting. The latest thing that we've added to NFT Arena. And you can create one or join yourself. And of course, when you create one, you get to choose the rules and the amount of participants. There's going to be initially only 3 versions of the amount of participants, so limited numbers like 4, 8, and 16 specifically. And the reward structures that come out of it are based on percentages. Like if you're 4 people buying in, then the winner gets 75%, the second spot gets 25%, and 8 and 16, so on, so on, so on. What else? The marketplace. Marketplace allows you to sell your NFT as a card. So it's the interesting bit is that depending on the rarity chance that you have gone through when the card was generated, this may or may not make your NFT worth more. In the sense that if you have an NFT that is worth nothing, for example, say you're 1 cent, okay, an NFT worth 1 cent, and you put it on NFT Arena. By a stroke of luck, your NFT that is worth 1 cent actually gets the legendary wrapping, so it gets a lot of power as a card. The points for it are very high. That means that that card can be used for winning NFTs from other people, which means that your NFT that had a barely nominal value all of a sudden can be used for very, very high value actions. It's obviously beyond my position to say prices or numbers in this case because it's not very appropriate, but it is just logical flow that it could be very interesting. Balancing the chances, of course, is our biggest concern, and this only really happens on big numbers.
Cool. That sounds like a pretty extensive answer. we are getting some more questions in now, so I'll jump right to the next one. Psych, or Psyche, I'm not sure exactly how they pronounce it, but they're asking, what are the next steps? And then there's a second part to the question that, and I can talk a little bit about that if you'd like, and then you can jump in.
Of course. Take it away, Blake.
Next steps right now, we've got staking coming up hopefully next week. We've got a loyalty holders program we call the Diamond Paws loyalty campaign that's also going. After this call, we'll take our first snapshot. And what the campaign is over between now and when we launch NFT Arena, we will have 10 snapshots, and those who are holding during each of those snapshots, for each snapshot that you are holding tokens or staking tokens, your amount of tokens will be added up into a score, and then that score will be compared to tier levels that we've posted in the article about it on our blog at cryptoarena.org/blog. And based on the tier, you'll get a certain number of NFT Arena cards, an NFT redeemable ticket for security tokens in the future, and the number of security tokens on that redeemable ticket or attached to that redeemable ticket will be correlated to the tier. And for those who held through today specifically, we're looking at giving an extra special reward of some kind to be determined for showing our appreciation to you guys. So staking is coming up. The loyalty holders campaign is ongoing. People are able to provide liquidity, which is also can be quite nice, particularly starting out. Let's see. There's more. You want to jump in where I left off, Lorenzo?
I struggle to pick out what's left out of the list. I think NFT Arena, the clickable version that you didn't mention.
Yes, the clickable version, that'll be really cool. I've actually had a little bit of a sneak peek at some of that, and I'm pretty excited about it. Leonie's also posting in the AMA Questions channel some pictures of the cards, of some of the cards. It may not be the exact look of the cards, but it's an example. And the pictures inside these cards will be some of the cards, NFTs that will be attached to the cards when the game comes out. Whimsy Games is who we're partnered with for making NFT Arena, and they've got a really great team and a great art department as well. And so they're doing the design and the design of the cards and whatnot. So that's pretty exciting.
Indeed, especially I'm plenty excited for the art. They have some serious quality both in design and with the animations, so they can really make special things if they get the right concept, I think.
Absolutely, and I should mention with the cards that Leonie posted in the AMA question channel, 2 of them are named, and that is Yauximus and Purrmetheus, and 3 of them are still yet to be named, and the community gets to help name them. So if you check out our Twitter, we'll be posting the images of 3 that need to be named, and there will be encouragement for people to give name suggestions, and of those suggestions, we'll pick a few to put into a poll. If yours makes it into a poll, you'll get a reward of tCATS, and if yours then wins the poll, you will get a rare version of the card that you named. So that's pretty cool as well.
I agree, indeed. And what else do we have? Oh, guest tracker as well.
Ah, yeah, guest tracker.
Guest tracker also coming soon. Release date to be announced next week. And as holders, another of the bonuses that you get is that you get the free unlimited pro version of it for free, just by having your tokens and connecting your wallet. Any more questions, guys?
Yeah,
More questions? Yes?
I believe so. I'm scrolling back up a little bit. Why lots of token holders got their tokens 60 to 70 days ago? And the reason for that is that we had earlier pre-sale rounds. And they also added was there a delay?
That's right.
And I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, we had our rounds indeed about 60 days ago, the first and the second, and the third was going to be at the end of that month. There was the market panic going up and down and sideways too. And we've had several delays with IDO platforms until eventually we were supposed to make a double one. Even in spite of those delays, we kept reaching out and getting in touch. And we eventually were supposed to be doing a double IDO, in fact, but one of the two fell through at more or less the last minute. So we ended up with just one, which cut up a bit of the enthusiasm. But it's all right. We have enough money. We have enough money to build. We have enough money to deliver the products. We have a lineup of things coming up in a sequence, pretty much continuously from the listing, from the IDO to the products for a couple months. So that should definitely move things. And if it doesn't, then we build more and more and more.
Yeah, we're in it for the long term, so we're going to keep going. And thankfully, I've seen, while there's been some frustration voiced, I've seen a lot of support as well from some of our big supporters and holders. So I'm excited about that as well.
Oh, an interesting bit of information is basically a date that you can save for yourself is from the deployment of the farms. The first iteration ends in 6 months, so it's half of the first year, basically. So that's going to be 1 million in rewards, just 1 million cat tokens in rewards in the first 6 months. And at the end of that contract, we're going to be upgrading to the next version. So that the plan is to have it with the LP NFT of Uniswap V3, so that we can also switch to the more capital efficient platform, and which might have actually been the better choice for today, perhaps, because it had better protection against dumps. But we're going to be upgrading the farms in 6 months, and basically that's going to make the farms massively more profitable as well.
Cool. Relating to the description you were giving of NFT Arena, Straight Game says, very cool. And so for gas, are those transactions in-game? Are those in-game transactions on-chain?
Very good question. The transactions that are on-chain are the ones relating to moving the actual assets, whether they are NFTs or tokens. So when you're depositing an NFT, yes, there's gas, and there's actually a markup as well. That markup goes to a wallet, so a pool of rewards, that is then shared equally by the node bearers. So if you do the staking, you get your nodes, the rewards that NFT Arena generates go to that address, to that pool, and that pool is shared with you and every other node. The deposit of an NFT has gas and markup. The withdrawal of an NFT also has gas and markup. The market itself, it's the first version is probably going to be off-chain and just for the cards. And the tournaments, of course, also have gas and markup when you're sending tokens. The game itself, however, it is off-chain. You just use the copy of the real asset that is unique to play with. So basically the actions placing the card on the board, for example, doesn't cost you gas.
Cool.
Winning the NFT also doesn't cost you gas. You just win the card from your opponent, which you can then use in game. You can sell in the in-app market, or you can use the claim NFT procedure and get the actual NFT that card represents.
Very cool. Another question is, any thoughts on staking of the NFTs?
Sorry, I didn't quite get that.
Any thoughts on staking of the NFTs? So staking NFTs.
Staking which NFTs and where? For what purpose? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused.
Do you want to clarify that for us, Straight Game? I'll jump to the next question until then, and that is, what about passive income? You mentioned nodes and how that plays into NFT Arena a little bit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that basically you access it through the procedure. I'm gonna recap it one more time. Is you have your tCATS tokens. You provide liquidity to either Uniswap or Spiritswap. There's going to be two farms, one for each network, and for each pair as well, for each asset. And you use that LP token to stake into the farm solution. The farm solution gives you a yield that is shared proportionally with the other tokens that are participating. And it also spits out a one-to-one synthetic back to the wallet that basically, if it's a one-to-one, so if you put 50k cats in the farm, you get 50k synthetics. And with those 50k synthetics, you can restake in another smart contract that is the node rights giving contract. So basically, this will spit out another single token that basically is used to identify the fact that you have the right to run a node and to receive profits from the game. And then the profits are routed to you through the smart contract of NFT Arena. So you don't need to move the authorization token. We call it the authorization token.
cool. And that's just the nodes. There's also going to be staking, as we've talked about pretty extensively recently. And then we haven't touched on security tokens, I don't think, during this call.
No, but that does get a little more extensive. It's definitely something
And
that requires.
And it's a little further down the line.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it. For example, we can say their use cases. We can talk about their supply. There's 1 billion of the tokens in existence at any point. Well, any point in time. Once they're created, there will always be 1 billion because it's immutable, predetermined supply, and 50% of it is out of circulation from the beginning to the end. That 50% that is out of circulation are the two allocations of the revenue distributions to the public and the buyback bonus, at least the starting amounts. From those two 25-25 allocations, the change that will happen is that the revenue distributions allocation grows over time, basically eating up portions of the supply that is in circulation until it eats it all. And when it eats it all, it also eats the buyback bonus allocation. Can I have some water, please? Sorry.
Cool. Let's see here.
Like if you're hunting for questions, I can talk a little about NFT staking, or the lack thereof that we do.
I've
you hear
got the next question, but you go for it real quick if you'd like.
Sure. Okay. So, I mean, there's many different ways to potentially stake NFTs on a platform, and while this is possible for us, there's like, it's really a tokenomics thing. It's the kind of thing where normally an entire platform would be built around that process. We have cat staking because the tokenomics is built around cats. That being said, we could at some point potentially in the future, if we decided to, and the tokenomics was sound on it, we could stake the NFTs in our collections against something, but we would need to build a reward structure around that. So it's not something we've ever talked about, but it's certainly possible. It wouldn't work for just any NFT though, if that was the question. If you want to just stake random NFTs on a platform, that's a very complex structure. So just to address that.
I was in doubt. I think he was referring to the process of generating cards, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is different. We're not actually staking the cards, though it could be construed as that because they're going into our system.
It's a treasury contract. You're basically depositing it into the contract, and it stays there, and whoever has the pass to claim it can claim it. Is how it works. So, any more questions, guys?
Yes, next question. So, for the farms with the 1 million cats, one of them is on Purrmetheus, correct?
Yes. Yes. That is the agreement we have. It's not currently on there, and of course they are free to change their mind, perhaps if they're too angry with us. But it should be on Purrmetheus, yes, with the FTM version. While the ETH version, we hope to host it ourselves. That's actually something I need to talk to you, Chris, about, because you need to make some upgrades.
We'll talk about it.
Yep. So,
cool.
tCATS and FTM cats.
That does exhaust the questions in the AMA questions channel. I will check Telegram real quick.
Thank you, Blake, by the way, for all your hours of hard work.
I've finally reached my second land. I'm actually feeling really good right now. It took longer than usual, but I made it.
Lucky you. I still didn't have dinner.
You stay awake forever, you'll eventually feel really, really good again.
Let's see. Not so much a question, but a comment from someone on Telegram. The best thing you can do is to compensate all those who participate in IDO and didn't sell their bags. And we agree. We are doing a lot for our holders. We've got our Diamond Paws Oil Holders campaign, which I've explained, and we have a great article on the blog explaining the details of that. In short, 10 snapshots between now and the release of NFT Arena. And as long as you hold or stake, you'll be a part of those snapshots, and you'll add up your tokens held on each snapshot into a score, and you'll get rewards based on the tier you fit into. So that is a really cool way we're going to reward our holders, as well as we're going to have great rewards for our staking that will hopefully be out this next week. And that is the plan. And yeah, we've got a lot that we're going to continue to do for our holders. We're always going to continue to be here to answer questions, even when things don't go perfectly. And we're going to keep going. If we weren't going to, there's definitely been opportunity to not do so, but we care about the mission and the project. This mission is something that nobody else has done, and kind of strikes at the heart of what crypto is. And Lorenzo's probably better to talk about that because this is his dream. But I also have bought into that and am very glad to be a part of it and look forward to what we do together.
Yeah, just very quickly, the objective for me is to feasibly deliver public benefit infrastructure, because I believe that's what exchanges ultimately should be. There shouldn't be an owner, there shouldn't be a competition. Basically would be essentially not even required at some point. You just don't even remember it's there. It's something you start taking for granted. If it's something that doesn't benefit from squeezing you, that instead provides value, is it's completely different from the type of relation that we currently get from the financial system. And it's not just the traditional financial system, but the rising one also has lots of practices that are reminiscent of the predatory tactics that have ruined the planet already. So there's better ways of doing things, especially now through blockchain technology, because of the capacity for achieving finality and transparency at the same time with the same solution. A promise like we'll distribute 100% of net revenue was even more ridiculous before than it sounds now. But it is actually possible through blockchain technology, because we can build a system that can't be altered anymore completely. Trustlessly can't be altered anymore. And just let it run. All it needs is enough of a propulsion to start the movement. See it like a landslide or an avalanche. It takes relatively little, like a sound, to move a great deal of matter, of snow. And this is more or less the same. It's just that it's not as well built as nature, and we have to do it. So piece by piece.
Cool. I am not seeing any other questions on Telegram.
All right, I think we can call her up. We have covered a bunch of topics, including all the more urgent ones. Let's do the snapshot. Let me go have my dinner, and then let's have a meeting and decide how much we give out in the loyalty program, and let's get back to our audience.
Cool.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep, we're good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for your time, crew. Take care.